Hi, my name is Del, and I would like to share with you my experience with stuttering. I haven't made a lot of videos before, so I'm sorry if I have like weird movements or something. Um, the reason I'm doing this video is because my friend Ayo asked me to. He started a charity to support the stuttering community, and he's just such an amazing person. If you ever have the pleasure of meeting him, you will know that he is a pretty big guy, um, but he has an even bigger heart. And yeah, so when he asked me, I said, yeah, of course, I will share my experience. Now, you might be wondering why I'm talking about stuttering, because it doesn't seem like I stutter. The truth is, though, that I have stuttered for most of my life. I think it started when I was 6 or 7. I don't really remember that clearly, but it was around the time that my family immigrated. And I have been at a speech therapist for the first time, I think, when I was 7. Um, at that time, I remember I was doing these like practices at home. We were kind of far away from any speech therapist. I grew up in a really small village, and after a few sessions, she said, "Well, maybe it's better if you come back when she's a bit older." I think because at that time I only just started stuttering, and I didn't really realize what I sounded like to other people because I just had the things in my mind that I wanted to say, and I wasn't really paying so much attention to how I was saying it. After that, a lot of things happened, and yeah, Ayo once told me like, you never talk about how you stuttered, and you're also not part of a stuttering community. And I think part of that is, first of all, because I grew up in a small village, I never even met a person other than me that stuttered until I was 14. So there weren't a lot of people to form a community with. And the other thing is that uh, around that time, also someone in my family passed away, and my mom developed mental health issues. So there were things that, stuttering wasn't at the top of my mind, and maybe also not at other people's. So I think it has played a less big role in my life than some other things like being an immigrant, being queer, the issues that we had in our family. So I think it wasn't until I was a teenager, like maybe 16 or so, that it really started. Like, I realized what a big impact stuttering had on my interaction with other people. And that probably seems pretty late. But the thing is, I was socially awkward already anyway. I think I didn't learn to look people in the eye when I was talking with them until I was like 13 or 14. So, there were just so many obstacles between me really communicating and connecting with other people that stuttering was just one of them, so I got to that one pretty late. And and a bunch around that time also, my stepfather had cancer and he passed away. And yeah, it's just a bunch of other things happened as well. And so I ended up not really having therapy, but I tried to pay attention to it myself. And anyway, I was working very hard at my social skills. And I think it wasn't until college that I got really fed up with it. I remember I was at this party with a few friends of mine, and the thing about my stuttering is that it would get worse when I have to speak loudly. So, imagine there's a party and there's music playing, and I was trying to have a conversation with my friend, and I would literally stutter at every word, and not just a little bit, like really badly. And so she'd been my friend since high school, so I knew she didn't think badly about me, but I just got so frustrated because I imagine it must be so horrible to listen to me. And I imagine what it was like in that situation when someone hadn't known me for that long. And I also got really scared that I wouldn't be able to do the things that I wanted because of this. I thought, I thought it would really hurt my chances to find the life partner that I wanted. And also because I want to make a difference in the world. And I realized, already sometime before that, you can't, I can't do that alone. Nobody does it alone. You have to do it together with people, and I thought, well, that involves probably also speaking in front of groups of people and really going out there and talking with people. And and the way I was communicating, I got really scared that wasn't going to happen. So that's when I myself went to a speech therapist. I think that was I was maybe like 21 or something, 22. And again, I had a couple sessions, did some practice at home. But, I really wanted to speak fluently. And at the final session that I was there with her, she told me, that basically that was not going to happen. She would, and I think for the people that stutter, they probably have heard this as well, that to be less kind of stressed about it and to be okay with it, that you will stutter. And I do think it is very kind advice. It just wasn't acceptable for me, and so I kind of embarked on my own way, because in my mind I was just thinking that there is no word that I have never been able to say fluently in my life. What I mean by that is, for example, introducing myself is pretty shitty for me, because I would always stutter at, hi, my name is, always on the M. So right at the beginning. And then I would also stutter at my own name. So that was a really bad sentence for me. But for example, if the word my name is in the middle of a sentence, then I wouldn't stutter there, right? So, and that kind of proved to me I am physically able to say that word or those words. It's just that when there's a certain context, somehow my brain struggles with that, right? But I am able to say it. So all I have to do is get myself from that one context into the other context. And I decided to really go for that. And the way that I did that is one, I had a lot of conversations with people that were content-wise not super interesting. And so I would go to meetings and parties, and I would basically have the same conversations over and over and over again. So I would be like, hey, I'm so, and it would be like, where are you from? So, like an introduction, except that I would just have these conversations over and over and over. And I also decided to go to the US. First of all, because that seemed like a really cool place in California, and second of all, because at least where I'm from, Americans are a little bit famous for being good talkers. So I thought, well, learn from the masters. And I think the other thing is that, for me at least, it helps to be in a new environment. I think when I put myself in a new environment, I experience more freedom to be the person that I grew to be, rather than the person that I'm used to being in a certain environment. So I think the new environment also helped. And then, of course, being a new place, I would, go out, and in any way, I didn't know any of these people, and I figured, well, most of them I'm never going to see again. So even if I make a fool of myself, it wouldn't be too bad. And the way I know that that training really helped is because, this was in the US, and my English, so English is actually the language that I'm most fluent at. My native language would be Dutch, and that's actually the language I stutter in most. And the other languages that I speak, I also, kind of stutter, but not in English, because that's what I trained. And I'm sure that if I would put time and effort into training in those other languages, I could also speak fluently there. And though I think part of it is also psychological, probably also has to do with stress. Also, when I'm tired for a longer time, or I've been stressed for a couple of weeks, then I also stutter in English, and it gets progressively worse when I don't get enough rest. And it's something that I accept, that speaking will always be more effortful for me and my brain than for other people, and that's how I can tell. But I'm really happy that I'm at a point where I feel like it's not standing in the way of me achieving my goals. And I think that's the important thing. That's why I didn't identify myself as a stutterer. For me, it was one of the obstacles in my way to having the life that I want, and to be the person that I want to be. And so the advice that I would give to people that are struggling with stuttering, really, this is only from my experience, so please take it with a grain of salt. But I would say, focus on what it is that you want in life, and and who do you want to be as a person. Because I think the goal is not to not stutter, but there are things that stuttering are preventing you from achieving. And if you fully lean into that and are willing to go for that, whether or not you will speak fluently, you will find a way to reach your goal and to be the person that you are. And I think that is worth everything, and that's worth all the effort. So just to tell you a little bit about my current circumstances now. So I did find that dream partner that I wanted, and we're living together now. I was working as a freelance data scientist, and currently in the stuttered program because it is still my dream to. The dream became more specific. I want to help people reach their full potential by building a company where and a work environment where people can be the best version of themselves. And so I'm always looking for. I would be super happy to talk about that. To if anyone's interested in working together on that. My background is in AI and cognitive neuroscience, so most likely it would be something technology related. So then, I'd be happy to connect. And also, if you have questions or something about my journey in regards to stuttering, but as you can tell, maybe that I am not an expert on the topic. It is, but it is one of the experiences in my life. So thank you for listening and for your attention, and good luck achieving your goals and becoming the person that you will want to be.